relationship for a while and have worked with Louis extensively in the past and trying to figure out how to get things done. So often as being in the line of business, it's difficult to get technology projects going as quickly as you would like to get them going from a technology perspective. And there's budgeting and there's approval and there's a lot of items that go into getting a full-scale project released. And the key really is to figure out how can you get something done while you're developing all of those other requirements as it relates to getting your budget approved, getting your project approved. Are there things that you can do in the interim to get you some relief to move your project down the line while you're building a full-scale implementation? Right?
Yes, correct. And again,
how I always leveraged you.
Yes. So that's how we always, would be locked together, is because as those major projects were coming up, what would happen is we would create, as Kathy always says, bots to actually do the work that she needed done until we could get the application created that needed to be delivered to her. So for an example, there was several different instances where, from a business process perspective, you have compliance issues, you have things out in the customer space that data's not being filled in appropriately, and as hard as leadership tries to get the end users or our employees to fill in the appropriate data, it just wouldn't happen. And we would struggle with it, and it usually becomes a struggle when it's a struggle, when now we've got something, a compliance thing getting ready to come in, we've got an audit coming, and now we look at the data and say, oh, we've got all kinds of problems. And so then it would be, oh, Louis, can you do something for me? And so again, that's where we would step in with business process automation, where we would actually script things, automate it, get the data put into the right state, run that daily, if it wasn't weekly, if it wasn't quarterly or whatever, to allow for Kathy and her team to do business. So Kathy, from that perspective, let's talk about the box.
Right. It's my favorite thing.
I'm gonna just let you go with general topic and just what's your feeling about that?
Well, I personally love bots because it can create some efficiencies where you don't already have them, right? Just as you indicated, where you've got people that have to do activities, they try really hard, and it's not that they don't want to do a great job, it's just really difficult when you have a manual process over a manual process over a manual process, that things get missed. It's not their fault, but the best you can hope for is maybe 50 to 80% accuracy when you've got a ton of manual processes that are being done. And that's what we encounter.
Yes.
And so the bot really helps in doing some of those exact same processes that a person would do, but it's on an automated basis. So it helps that individual have a higher ability to deliver quality, and it creates some efficiencies from a line of business perspective, because now instead of that person sitting there doing keystrokes, they can do something that better uses their talent as opposed to entering keystrokes.
Yes.
Right? And so that's really what a bot does from a business perspective, is that you get better quality data because the bot does it right 100% of the time, which is amazing. And secondly, you can better use your resources, because people, from an employee standpoint, want to do something of value.
Correct.
And it gives them an opportunity to do something of value. Mm-hmm. So that's why I love bots.
Wow. Okay. Well, and that's the thing. Resource leveraging is a critical piece in business process automation. It is one of those points, besides just the quality issue of, yes, now you have a tool that's actually in place doing the same keystrokes every time, and there's not going to be a variation of that keystroke. There's no bathroom breaks, there's no lunch breaks, there's no whatever. It's just going to keep running through all those keystrokes and going to grab the data, and it can be as complex as it needs to be. So if I need to go pull data from a database, if I need to go put data into a database, if I need to go whatever else I need to go do, I can go do that. And so the bot's going to do it every time the same way, and which then gives you that efficiency, which then gives you that quality boost. The other portion, again, goes back to resource leveraging. Now you, as Kathy said, now you've got employees who now they're frustrated in a lot of cases of going through the same keystrokes every day, all day. And then sometimes when you get to the end and you're at the compliance, or you're hitting a deadline and the pressure's on, and then there's even more mistakes that are made, or they've got to work extra hours to try to catch up on stuff that fell behind. They don't, they struggle, or in a lot of cases just don't want to do it. It's not the exciting thing in their life or at their job, but they want to be able to do something that they can see tangible benefits to the company, to the team, and say, look what I did, and so this allows them that and takes those redundant tasks off their plate.